It sounds pretty steep. Looks like it. I'd hate to have to run down this.
Yeah, well, what's the longest you've run before?
The longest I've run, I think last year I accidentally ran a 10K.
Jeez. How did that happen?
Well, it was the beginning of the year, so I decided to take up running again right after winter ended. And I found this 10-kilometer track near my house, and I said that I would run the circle and turn around once I got tired, just to see what my maximum was. And I wound up, by the time I was tired, going more than halfway, so I had to finish it.
Jeez. I'm sure that would have been easier to bike, right?
I like biking way more than running. It's a lot easier and fun.
Okay. Well, where's your favorite place to bike?
I like going down Twist Run Road.
Okay, well, why is that?
Because I did a lot over the summer this year on my way to Maine Annual, and it was really beautiful during the summer to see all the summer trees and leaves and green. And it was really nice.
So can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, I'm ready. Fire them off.
All right. So what's your daily schedule like?
I wake up, go to school. Every other day I have 0-period gym. I go to school, then I work from 9th period until 6 o'clock. And then I have dive practice for 2 hours, and then I go home.
Okay, what's your favorite time of day?
My favorite time of day is early morning, like right before the sun comes up. It's really nice and calming.
Okay. Favorite season?
Spring. That's when my birthday is.
All right. A place you've always wanted to visit?
Australia. Great Barrier Reef is like really pretty, and I just want to see what it's like.
Okay. What's your favorite place you have visited?
Disneyland. I got to go there for free for a week because my sister worked there, and it's just like they say, it's the land of like magic and stuff. It's really like, it was favorite memories overall.
So what's a place you've always wanted to live?
I have always wanted to live in Washington State. The forests around there and stuff like that are just beautiful, and I just want to like be around that all the time.
So I know you haven't always lived in Endicott. How long have you lived here?
I've only been in Endicott for about 4.5 years.
Where are you from?
I consider myself to be from the Bronx. I've lived there for much longer, since I was 2.
Where were you born?
I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida, but I left there about a year and a half after I was born, so.
And the scariest thing you've done?
Probably teach myself how to do a backflip. That was not fun for the first half of the year.
So what would you say is your biggest weakness?
I'd say my biggest weakness is that I forgive and forget too quickly. I'm a little too lenient at times.
Your biggest strength?
Is my optimism and the fact that I put all my effort possible into whatever I'm trying to put myself into.
All right. So what's your biggest learning experience so far?
I'd say my biggest learning experience so far has been varsity sports, like swim and dive as a whole. It's really taught me how to be dedicated to something and work hard and be responsible.
What's the biggest piece of advice you could give?
The biggest piece of advice I would give to people in life is that you should always give everything a try at least once. And if it doesn't work out, give it another shot, because we're never our best at our first try.
So who's your biggest role model?
I would say it's a previous graduate named Kurt Mueller. He was also a diver like I am, and I modeled almost all of my diving after him, as well as some of how he interacts with people. He was just a good person and
Watch out for those.
a really good diver.
Yeah. So define yourself in 3 words.
Let's see. I'd say outgoing at times, kind of smart, and random, I guess.
What's a cause that's important to you?
I guess global warming.
All right. What's your biggest pet peeve?
When people say that they are unable to do something or unable to try something before even giving it a shot.
All right.
Man, we've been walking for a while. It'd be nice if we had some music.
Speaking of music, what kind of songs have you been listening to lately?
On Spotify, I'd say I've had Bell Bottoms on repeat. That song that's in Baby Driver at the start.
All right. What's your dream career?
My dream career would either to be a forest ranger in Washington or something like that, or a competitive diver like in the Olympics.
All right. Describe your clothing style.
I'd say comfortable.
All right. Favorite childhood movie?
Cars or Finding Nemo.
All right. Favorite childhood TV show?
That's a toughie. There's so many good ones. Maybe Adventure Time, I guess? I don't know. There's a lot.
Adventure Time is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
What's your favorite subject?
Chemistry. I love chemistry a lot.
Shout out to Kraz.
Krasniak.
Oh yeah. Favorite teacher?
It's either Krasniak or Malieso. Shout out to Malieso.
Alright. What gets you excited?
Diving, I guess? And
So what skills are you looking to master that you haven't quite yet?
piano. I'd love to master piano.
Do you like surprises?
Not really. I don't really react well enough to them.
Alright, I'm gonna throw a bunch of them at you. Favorite animal?
Blue jay.
Favorite food?
Cheesecake.
Favorite sport?
Diving.
Favorite food that isn't cheesecake? Because cheesecake is a dessert and not food.
My favorite food would be cheesecake, always, no matter what, even if I can't eat cheesecake.
Alright, that's fair. Favorite color?
Pink or blue.
Favorite pizza topping?
I'm gonna get crucified for saying this, but it's pineapple.
Stop. No. Oh my gosh. Favorite band?
I love maybe Dance Gavin Dance. They're a pop rock band or a scream band.
They're pretty cool. Your favorite artist?
That's a toughie. I listen to someone named Mac Ayers. He's really good.
If you could master any instrument, what would it be?
Piano.
If you had a tattoo, what would it be?
I would have a mourning dove feather right over my heart.
Why would you do that?
Because it signifies my childhood and my great-grandparents' house. Because I would always hear mourning doves whenever I was over at their house.
So what musical instruments do you play?
I play guitar, ukulele, I have maracas, a kazoo, slide whistle, and I can kind of sing.
Alright. What item do you always have to have on you?
My wallet. It has everything I use every day. I could go without my phone, but my wallet's kind of necessary.
Do you get good grades?
Depends. Not most of the time.
Do you collect anything?
I have a small collection of bird feathers that I find or have been given. I also have turtle knickknacks, and I'm trying to start a bird knickknack collection, but I only have one bird, so it's not really a collection.
What's on the top of your wish list?
A new piano. I really want to play piano.
What's your sorting house?
I'm a Gryffindor. Pottermore. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you most thankful you were able to do this year?
I'm most thankful that I was able to dive year-round. It really helped me improve my skills as a diver, going to various camps, and I definitely attribute my recent success to diving year-round.
All right. What was your first job?
My first job was last year, actually. I started working at a RV campground as a lifeguard. It paid minimum wage, and the hours sucked, but it was alright. First job.
And you still do lifeguarding now, right?
Yeah. I work at the school as a lifeguard, and I lifeguard both varsity and modified for swim and dive.
All right. So what's something that you've learned this year?
I'd say maybe, I guess I perfected doing a backflip this year, so yeah, even though almost everything revolves around me doing backflips at this point.
Do you have any plans for this new year?
Now that we're into 2020, I'd say, I don't know, just keep improving as a person. I don't really like doing resolutions because I feel like I should be constantly trying to improve myself rather than waiting for a reserved time.
All right. And now that you like you said, we're in the new decade. Any long-term goals, like concrete things that you want to get done? I know you don't like making concrete goals, but is there anything big?
Anything? I'd say, I don't know, graduate college, get a comfortable job, live a happy life. I don't know.
All right. Well, what are you majoring in college?
I'm going to be doing environmental science.
Where are you going?
To Niagara U probably, because it's looking like a full ride, but it could be Brockport. It goes either way.
Are you looking for a bachelor's or a master's, or what are we talking here?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a bachelor's degree, 4 years.
Okay, cool. Any plans on what you're going to immediately do after?
I'll try to get into being some sort of park ranger, if that's possible, or just someone out in the field and forest and stuff, because I like being in nature.
All right, cool. So I don't know if I actually know, how many animals do you have?
I currently have 2 animals. I have a dog named Daisy and a cat named Minnie, and they're both precious. I love them more than anything.
So I know you talk about diving a lot. How often do you normally do diving?
I normally do diving. I do diving 6 days a week for 2 hours a day.
What's your favorite dive to pull off?
There's a double twister where I go off the board forward and then I spin twice, do 2 full twists, and then a flip and land on my feet.
Interesting. Would you say that, how much progress do you think you've made since you started diving?
Oh, I've made a lot of progress. When I first started in the middle of sophomore year at sectionals, I barely crossed 100, which is like not good at all. But now I'm going for states this year for sectionals, which is about 450. So hopefully I make state championships, and that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Man, those guys are kind of loud, don't you think?
Yeah, they won't stop making noise.
Well, what would be your dream car while we'll wait a second.
I think having a Tesla would be very nice just because of how quiet they are. But if we're not talking about noise levels or anything, Mustang would be pretty cool.
Like a kind of muscle car or one of the, more tame versions?
I don't know. Just
you just want to kind of go out there with a sports car, or just
a sports car Mustang, not like the older, muscle cars.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. So last question. Can you do a kickflip?
No.
Alright, well, whatever, that's fine. But dude, we should totally do this more often. When are you free?
I'm free never again, because I hated every second of this.
Okay, that's fair.
Go home.
Alright, can you do a backflip?
Dude, alright, ready? Watch this.
Do it.
I learned this one a couple days ago.
Do it. Oh yeah.